everyone, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my TBR for the final book support group, I believe round 8. So this is a week-long readathon, and it runs from the 7th through the 13th. This is hosted by Steph from Steph Loves. I will link her channel in the announcement video in the description below if you'd like to take part. So basically, this is about focusing on your sequels. As long as you're working on your series and trying to get to those final books, you're participating, but we do have some prompts. So I'm going to run you through what those prompts are and what I plan to read for them. First up is read a final book. This is just finish out a series. And for this, I'm going to read The Battle for Roar by Jenny McLaughlin. This is the third and final book in the Roar trilogy, and it follows Arthur and Rose, who in the first book end up having to travel to a land that they thought was make-believe that they played in as children to rescue their grandfather. I have absolutely adored this series. I have been highly anticipating reading the final book, so I'm so excited to be getting to it and finally ticking this off of my TBR. The second book is to continue a series you're unsure about. And for this, I'm going to read The Fleet Street Murders. I read the first two and I remember liking them. They weren't anything super special, but I liked them. And I haven't exactly been chomping at the bit to pick it back up, so I figured this was a good time to put this book on here and kind of see what I think, if I can get back into it, if I want to keep going and it appeals to me, because I'm in the midst of so many series that maybe this is one I could let go of. So that is going to be my choice for continuous series I'm unsure about. Next, we have to use a spinner wheel. So for this, I am going to focus exclusively on Warriors books. The main reason for that is it's a series I've been trying to work my way through for what feels like ages, and the Cat Lady Readathon overlaps with the final book support group, and I want to partake in both. I'm going to have a separate video for what I may get to for that. So I figured I might as well use the spinner wheel prompt to put a book about cats on my TBR. So if you're new to my channel and haven't heard about Warriors, it's a series that follows forest cats that live in clans and have to try to coexist. There are so many books in this series, and I believe of the ones that I own, I have one more super edition, but I didn't want to try to squeeze a 500-page book in there. So these are my options. First, we have A Thief in ThunderClan. This is one of the graphic novels and is the only one I haven't read. Then the rest of these are kind of field guides, and they're the last category of book in the Warrior series that I haven't really got to. The first is The Ultimate Guide. Now, keep in mind, these can kind of be read in any order, but they do have spoilers for certain sections of the series. So if you're going to read these, you should probably be caught up on the main arcs. I don't know exactly where they fall off the top of my head, but considering I'm caught up in the main arcs, there's nothing in these books that could spoil one of the main arcs for me. So the Ultimate Guide is probably going to be what it says on a tin and just give you a ton of information on the universe. Then I have Battles of the Clans, which I'm assuming is going to focus on some of the famous epic battles that our cats have gone up to. We've got Cats of the Clans, which gives you little mini profiles on each of the cats in the clans. I have Enter the Clans, which is an omnibus, and I've split these two apart. So one is Secrets of the Clans, and one is Code of the Clans. Obviously, Secrets will focus on things that aren't necessarily well known. And then the Code is the Warrior Code, which is the code that the cats kind of live by, and will probably dive into all things Code of the Clans. And then I have the Untold Stories. So these are the last 3 novellas that I haven't read, and I would read all 3 of these if that comes up. So I will spin the wheel and insert the footage here, and you'll get to see what I picked. Okay, I apologize for the noise that my computer is making, though the fan is rather quiet right now, but here is my spinner wheel. It's got all 7 of the options that I have for my Warriors books, and we're going to give this a spin and see which one I'm going to read. Code of the Clans it is. So there you have it. That is the book I'm going to be reading for my spinner wheel prompt. And considering my options, I can't complain. I'm happy with whatever book came up. The next prompt is to read a book in a veteran series. And for this, I'm going to read The Chestnut King. This is the third and I believe final book in the 100 Cupboard series. And I have been reading this for what feels like ages. I know that years and years and years ago, I read the first book. And then I got back into reading and I reread the first book. I've read the second one and now I want to read the third. I actually own book 0.5, so like the prequel, but I didn't want to read it until I finished the series, so I would be able to then tick that off and get that off of my shelves. So this is about a boy named Henry who in the first book finds hidden cupboards behind a wall when he's living with his aunt and uncle that are portals to other worlds. I enjoyed the first two books and I'm excited to see how Henry's story ends and how the story wraps up. And it'll mean I took another series off of my series to continue list. The next prompt is to read a book in the longest series you're currently working on. And while I can't be 100% positive this is the longest series, it is definitely one of the longest, and that's Till Death Do Us Part. This is book 8? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like book 8 in the Bake Shop Mystery Series, and this follows Jules, who helps run a bake shop in her hometown with her mom. It's a cozy mystery series. I've really, really enjoyed this series. I have been reading one book a month, so I was going to get to it anyways, and it just so happens to be my longest series, so why not put it on this TBR? The next prompt is to borrow a book, so this can mean from a friend, from the library, from like Kindle Unlimited or Scribd, and so I have chosen to read Death by Beach Read, which is the most recent book in the Lighthouse Library Mystery Series. This was one of my series to continue, so this will make me caught up on the series, which is also another goal of the Final Book Support Group, is to finish your series, but also to get caught up on the ones you're in the midst of. This follows Lucy, who works at a library that is housed in a lighthouse. I've really enjoyed the series. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of shenanigans Lucy gets up to in this one, and being able to put this on my up-to-date list. And then the last prompt is to read your most anticipated sequel, and for this, I'm going with Scaredy Cat. So this is the most recent book in the Second Chance Cat mystery series. Lots of cozy mysteries. This is also a series to continue, and I was caught up until this book came out, I want to say last month. And my library has the audio. I haven't managed to get a physical copy yet, but I do have the audio. I was probably going to listen to the audio anyways, so this is what I'll be reading. This follows Sarah, who works at a secondhand shop. She has a very special cat named Elvis, and a group of well-meaning older individuals who are kind of like private investigators, and they tend to take on cases and end up roping Sarah into helping them figure them out. I have loved this series. I'm very excited to have a new book in it, and yeah, I think this fits pretty well for most anticipated sequel, though there's a lot I could have chosen. For this prompt, I'm very excited to be diving into this one. So there you have it. That's my TBR. I'm pretty excited. I am making progress in 2 very long series with Warriors and the Bake Shop Mystery Series. I'm finishing a couple of series. I'm getting up to date in a couple of series. So I think it'll be a very, very productive week full of series that I absolutely love, and one that I'm not so sure about, and we'll see how I feel afterwards. So that's it for this video. What is a series that you're hoping to work on in the coming week if you're taking part in the Final Book Support Group? All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me door emojis in honor of 100 cupboards. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!